Let's get everybody on. You'll never believe it, but our electricity went out here. Can you hear me, everybody? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear you, but let's get everybody on. Hey, everybody. It's crazy.
There I am.
There you are. It's crazy. The electric went out. The electricity just went out in our building. And I'm like all set up and ready to go. Um, so bear with me as I get everybody on here, and then hopefully I'll get to switch back to my office. And hello, Melissa. Hello, Alicia. Melinda, Bridget. Good job. I was telling before everybody got on, our electricity went out in our building 5 minutes before we got ready to start. And so it's okay. We'll hopefully it'll come back on before we get done and I can walk back in there and sit at my desk. And so yeah, they're working on it. So hello, how is everybody? Let's see, I saw some other people on. Let me try to get everybody else on. And they might have got kicked off. When I okay. All right. I even had my pom-poms set up in my office, and Melissa, I'm sure she has pom-poms. Yeah, we use pom-poms at in the class because I love it when people feel like God's speaking to them or something really happens that's revelation with the principles of business and or whatever organization they're growing. And so I tell them all the time, bring pom-poms. It helps me know when I'm doing a good job and something's hitting home. And so um Melissa's got pom-poms, I got pom-poms, and a couple of other so uh, so well, I'm so glad everybody's joined. Thank you so much. We had some technical trouble yesterday in that so many people could not get on. And so I love Zoom so much, and Zoom is so much, it's really uh uh just customer friendly, people friendly, human friendly. And so I moved over to Zoom today. So thank you for coming and joining us. I'm sure there'll be others that will join us as we go along. They'll see the link on the Facebook. And I like Zoom because I get to see you face to face, and I like to invite you into my home today. Please, I invite you into my car today. And so it feels so good to see people face to face and to talk to them, and to be able to really just interact with them and you guys. And hang on just a second. And
I'm gonna head home. I'll sign on as soon as I get
okay. And so that was one of the guys that's gonna join too, but he's got to head home because it's out in the building. The electricity's out in the building, and that means the Wi-Fi is down. So this is good for those of you that end up deciding that if you want to join this community, And so we do a lot of things on Zoom. Today, I want to tell you a little bit about what we did yesterday, what we're going to do today, and what we're going to do tomorrow, and what you can expect from the class. First, yesterday, I really shared my testimony. I want, if you didn't already, go to register. If you register online, and you can do that at margocoaches.com, then it will take you all the way through to the last page. And the last page, there's a link there that you can download my book. And I would love for you to have it. I'd love to give it to you free as a gift. If you prefer to read it in your hand, just email me at Dr. Margo at margobush.com. And you can, Melissa, maybe you could put that in the chat for them. And so you could connect with me there, and you can tell me if you'd rather me send you just a regular, a printed book. A lot of times people like to read printed books and instead of ebooks. And so whichever one that you like the best, feel free to let me know. And I want you to have it as my free gift. So if you missed class yesterday, then feel free to listen to the recording on Facebook. I have it on there, or my testimony is in my book, Dream Big, Live Big. You can do it too. And I love the subtitle because that's what this 3 days is all about: how having the proper tools and the proper principles of business changed my life, changed my business, increased sales for me, and provided financial security. And so you'll hear, if you haven't already, in my story, that financial security was something that I really needed to work for me when I became a widow in my 40s. And it was devastating. It was hard, but I learned how to do business, and it has become my passion and my calling to help women business owners learn how to produce build financial security and create kingdom impact. Whether you have a ministry or whether you have a business, whether you have a big organization or whether you have a church, the principles are still the same. The tools are still the same, and they work. And you can start. It doesn't matter where you start. I didn't know anything about business when I was 49. Let me say it like this. I knew a little bit. I knew about business. I didn't know the proper principles to growing a business and an organization. And that was the key. So today we're going to talk about 3 key, and sorry for me having to kind of make shift here. We're going to talk today about 3 key secrets to earning more. Yesterday we talked about the mindset that you really have to learn in order to grow a business. It doesn't come automatic. It doesn't come just by prayer. If it did, we'd all be really doing good, because we do all pray a lot. It is an important part of what I believe is success. But I also was missing the principles of kingdom growth. And God is all about growing. God is all about you growing. He's all about you increasing in your business, increasing in your financial security, just increasing. And and we see it all around us, because everything that's put into place, I mean, you plant a seed and a tree will grow if you do the right things. It's not automatic, because you can put the seed in. Everything for it to automatically grow is in that seed. Isn't it just like Mark 11? It's in that seed. But where we miss it sometimes is that there are practical principles that have to be done in order for that seed to grow. We got to water it. We've got to do the right things. We've got to nurture it. We got to take care of it. We got to pay attention to it. You leave a seed in the ground and you just leave it alone and don't do anything with it, like a tomato plant. Here's a good example about tomato plant. My dad used to grow tomato plants, and if you didn't put the stick up and to where and tie that tomato plant to that stick, what's going to happen? It falls down and it rots on the ground. And that's what happens too much. So knowing the proper principles and the proper tools, having the proper principles and the proper tools makes all the difference in the world. And it made all the difference in the world to me because I had started a business when I was 19 and did well for a tiny bit, didn't really get to where I wanted to get to. We talked about yesterday how important it is to write the plan, write the vision. It is an important part. You know, when you begin to do a garden, you already have a plan. Whether it's written down or whether you have it in your head or have it in your heart, it's a plan. There's a plan to it. And what I found out with clients that come on to Don't Do Business Alone and Don't Do Church Alone, a lot of time there's just no plan. It's just a plan that is undefined. It's unclear. And clarity breeds confidence. I mean, you can write that down. Clarity breeds confidence. So the reason why you may not have confidence about your organization, your business, and the growth of it is because you're not clear on it. And probably 99% of the business owners that come to me every year are unclear. Probably 99% of the pastors and the churches that come to me every year are unclear. The ministers, they're unclear. They have a passion. You got to have it. Even some have an imagination, and in those three keys, that's number one: imagination, a mindset. Passion, imagination, mindset, all kind of goes together to me. When you have if you can imagine it, but here's the thing, imagination alone, sometimes you'll hear people say, you know, if you can imagine it, you can have it. Yes, to some extent. And here's why I say that. One, imagination starts the journey. It starts the process. It starts the action forward. But just to stay in imagination will not get you to financial security. It will not get you to kingdom impact. And kingdom impact to me is this: you have enough money to help other people, to help other projects, to create a business, an organization, a church, a ministry that has kingdom impact. And that right there takes money. We can say all day long, money doesn't mean anything. Money, you know, it's not about the money. And it isn't about the money. It's not. But you got to have money in order to do the things that you want to do, the impact you want to make, and definitely the financial security that you want to have as a woman. And as a woman, here's what I want for you is I want you to be the best in your industry. I want you to be the biggest. I want you to go as far. Let me say that. I want you to go as far and as big as you want to go in your industry, because you can. Because you can, with the proper tools and the proper principles, you can. And I've done it over and over again. And let me just say this. In our program, here's what I know can happen over and over and over again. With the proper principles, the proper education, and the proper tools, in 3 months, you can triple in your profits and you can make some impact in your financial security, in your money, in your income. I do it every day, all day long, every month, every year with businesses, ministries, and churches. And here's what I do know is that for many of us like me, I had a passion to start a business. I had a passion to start a ministry. Now, we started a great church. Our first church, actually, it was our second church, because our first church, we didn't really understand we didn't understand that it was going great, because we didn't understand principles. It was going great. We combined it with another church, and then we began to travel with an international ministry for 5 years. Then we went to pastor a church, our second church, and we grew it, and it was fantastic. Bill, my late husband, knew how to grow. When he passed away, I'd always worked with him. I was always there. I mean, I I could do anything that he wanted to do. We wanted to do. We did amazing things in that church. We grew a church. At one time, the membership was 800. The ammunition plant went out, so it kind of settled down around 500. But in a church in a city of about 12,000 when we went there, it's probably more now, but in a city where it's it was right around 12,000 when we went there. Running a church of 500 is like running a church of 5,000 in a big city, you know. So Bill knew how to grow, but I didn't. And so when he passed away, it was all new to me. Principles of business, principles of growth were all new to me. So within 3 months, I was after Bill passed away, and you'll hear my story. Just I won't repeat it, so we won't take the time. But I connected with a coach that knew how to do business. He began to teach me business. Within 3 months, I was tripling in my profits. By the end of the year, I'd paid off all the equipment in a 4,200 square foot building. And by the next year, I had sold it for enough money where I could live off the income for a while, not forever, but for a little while. So I went to the beach and rested a little bit and got my feet on the ground again. But still today, I do the same principles that I'm teaching every one of my students and all of you. So number one, 3 success secrets to earning more money. 1, you have to have an imagination. And here's the key about imagination. You have to see yourself with the kind of ministry and business and church that you want, not where it is today, but what you want. Now, that may take a little work for you because it did for me. I wanted to be at 1 million. Did I have it? Did I have the confidence inside here, inside of me, that I could take my business to 1 million? I knew God wanted it for me. I wasn't convinced I could do it. And so that took some education. That's solvable, you guys. That's so solvable. It's solvable. So whether you want to go to 6 figures or you want to go to 7 figures, I take business owners every day to 6 figures. And then those that want to go to 7 figures, I take them to 7 figures. I do that all day. Churches that want to grow from 80 people to 350 people. I've got a church right now, settled right. They were right around 350. They're now probably by the end of the year, they'll be They're way past 500 now. I'm hoping they'll be at 750. So the principles of growth are the same and they work. You just got to know them. So what I did is I knew inside. So you gotta evaluate yourself. And listen, this is all solvable. It's education. So the right education. Education will cause you to grow in your imagination and in your confidence and in your clarity of where you want to go. So imagination is number one. I call that mindset. In fact, in our program, let me pull it up here. And for those of you that joined me late, the electricity, 5 minutes before we began to go live, our electricity went out in the building. So everybody's scrambling, not just me, but I just happened to be the only one that was going online. Let's see. So our in our program, it's called a mindset of an entrepreneur. Mindset of an entrepreneur. If I'm doing ministry in churches, the mindset for pastors, the mindset of church growth, the mindset of growth, mindset of an entrepreneur. So I had to get some education in order to change that mindset. And sometimes the reason why you have the mindset you do, it's different for every business owner or every client that I get. But the most common one is that you've heard all your life, it's not for you. Now, sometimes you hear it from family members. Sometimes you see it in family members. Maybe you lived in I'm always amazed at, like I was watching a documentary, or it wasn't really a documentary, but it was an interview, and by a comedian, and he was raised in the Bronx, in poverty, and he's on his way, if he's not already, a billionaire. I'm always amazed at that because there's something on the inside of them that was put that they could do it. And for many small business owners, what I find, or people who just aren't or living paycheck to paycheck, or not able to get beyond, because here's the thing, money's flowing all the time. Money is always flowing. You're not connected. And it can be a couple of different reasons. For me, it was that I just saw that it wasn't for us. It must not be for us. It's for other people, but it's not for us. And one, because I'd never had a close member or someone close to me that had really made $1 million or had a business that made $1 million. In fact, the businesses that I saw, they would close down after a little while. And I began to think, what is it about the steps and the principles that other people are using, not even Christian people, and they're millionaires and billionaires, and why are they having so much when the church is not, or when believers are not? I used to say, something's wrong with that, God. Something, show me what's wrong with that. And many times it is in the imagination. It's because you've seen too much lack. And so the enemy is there to accommodate you. Your mind's there to accommodate you. Your belief is there to accommodate you. So number one secret is you have to learn how to have a mindset of an entrepreneur. And whether it's an entrepreneur to go to 6 figures, everybody, let me tell you what, it's the easiest thing for every ministry and every business to hit 6 figures. It is the easiest thing. I'm telling you, it's the easiest thing. So you just haven't been taught how. Then it is a little harder to go to 1 million, but absolutely I believe every woman that wants to be a millionaire should be a millionaire. It's available. The principles are there to do it, and you can do it. And it doesn't take rocket science. I'm telling you, it doesn't take rocket science. All right. So that's number one. Number two is you have to learn the proper actions to building a successful organization. It doesn't just happen. And regardless of what people say, well, I don't know what I did. They did the right thing. Well, it was just all God. No, it's not all God, because if it was all God, then God wouldn't say, be like the ant. Prepare. Are there miracles that happen? Absolutely. And trust me, God is right in the middle of everything I do. But there are proper principles that if you put them in action, it doesn't matter if a saint or sinner or a Buddhist or, a Muslim or anybody else, that plants a tomato plant, the seed is going to grow up if they do the right things. So the principles of growth are there. The principles happen, and you can tap into them and you can learn them. It's easy. I'm not saying, let me say it's simple. I can't say that entrepreneurship or growing is easy because it takes work. You can see the ant. He's working. He's working. And he's prepared, but he also has a season where he gets to lean back. Okay. So, all right. So number two, the actions, you have to have the right actions, the proper principles. Many of the actions that you need to start with are right there in my book. So be sure to get a free copy. When you register, you can download it, or you can email me and I'll give you a free copy. I'll mail you a free copy. So the principles to build a proper structure is available for everyone. I'm going to give you just one today. And let me explain it like this. A car motor doesn't just have one part to make a car go, for it to move. In fact, the motor can be running it can be running wonderful. Not a thing wrong with it. It can be running and purring like a cat. That's what I was looking for. Purring like a cat. But if it has just one flat tire, it's not going anywhere. This was such revelation to me, because I kept saying, what's the one thing? What's the key thing? I asked my brother, he worked for $1 billion companies, global $1 billion companies. And I said, Jerry, what is the one thing that causes businesses to grow big? And he said, well, I don't think that there's just one thing. Now, remember, I was new at all this. So I was yes, I was in my 40s, but I didn't know how to grow a business. I was a pastor's wife. I knew the four walls of a church. I knew how to grow a church. Now, here was some things. I did know how to grow a church, and there were some principles that I did know. And I just didn't know those were the same principles that you use in order to grow a book business, a author business, a product and service business, any business, a coaching business. I didn't know those were the same. In fact, I thought, Those are principles over here. And then then you got other principles. Now, are they the same customers? No. Sometimes they overlap, like here with our coaching. I have a lot of believers, Christians. I have I coach some Scientologists. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Religion doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me either. And it doesn't matter. The principles don't matter. And I just love people. I was a great pastor's wife because I loved people. I'm a good coach, I think, because I love people. And I really, really want them to succeed. I wanted them to succeed when they were in my church. I want you to succeed because you're in my coaching program. I want you to succeed in life, whether or not you're in my coaching program or not. I just want you to succeed because I believe that you have so much potential and so much purpose. And I also believe that you see more of your purpose as you go along. I also believe that you see more of your potential as you go along. I never in a million years, I just wanted to get to six figures and provide for my, no, actually I was already at six figures. I wanted to get to $500,000. And I wanted to provide for my family, and I wanted to not live paycheck to paycheck. And I wanted to take care of my boys. I wanted to I wanted to have kingdom impact. I wanted to help take care of my church. I wanted to help give the kind of money that I wanted to give to my church in order to for my pastor, because I know what it's like. So I wanted to bless my pastor and my church. I wanted to have enough money to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to have enough money to send my kids on vacation and their family. I wanted to have enough money to go live in Italy if I wanted to live in Italy. So God doesn't care. And that's what you can have. I'm living the dream that I imagined today. I'm living the dream. I built a business and I did it on purpose. I built a coaching business. Look, I'm sitting in my car. I built a business. I could sit on the beach if I wanted to and coach any of you and any of the clients that I've had in the past and currently have. I could go live in Italy. In fact, I've been thinking about living in, being in Italy for a month. Have always wanted to go to Italy. I want to enjoy and look around and experience Italy. So I can do that for a month. I can't do it right now because I'm working at the church and I'm training workers. So that's what happens when you're in the ministry. You begin to help pastors and churches. But I can coach anywhere in the world. And you can build that kind of business. Whatever it is you imagine, I imagined that. I dreamed that. I was even in a business where you had to be in brick and mortar, and I didn't want to be there. Now, that may not be you. Maybe you want a brick and mortar. Maybe you want people to be in a building and have a shop and people come in your city. You can do that. Whatever you want. If you imagine it and you put the actions in place, that's number two. You put the proper principles in place, you can build whatever you want to build. Number three, I believe that there's two sides to success in everything that we do. One, it is the journey. It's the journey that we take in our life, but the journey, and I've seen this over and over again, especially, let me tell you a little story. When I first got my first coach, and you'll hear it on my story, if you go to Facebook, you can listen to day one. The reason why he connected with me was because he needed a speaker to open for him in his events that he was going to do all around the country, and mostly in LA. So he taught me how to open. Now, you can only imagine, this is a funny story because you can only imagine I came from a church and I always preached in a church, and I've always been, and since I was 19, I preached, even though I married a preacher, but I've always spoken. I've always had a speaking ministry, a part that's been part of my ministry. And so he had to teach me how to speak in front of a room full of business owners. And so we'd fill up the room, 300 people, business owners, and I'd open for him and I'd introduce him. It was just like, introducing anybody that you would know, on stage. And so that was my role. That was what I was supposed to do. But sometimes it would slip and I'd go, hallelujah. And what I realized, and I thought, oh my gosh, what happens if I say, glory to God or hallelujah? Because that's really, what I knew for, 28 years. And but the crowd would just laugh. And I say, oh, I'm sorry, I was a preacher's wife, and I was pastor's wife, and we pastored church. Sorry about that. And they would all laugh with me. And no, I never got anybody that was offended with that. I respect all of them so much, and hopefully they respected me. And so when I would but afterwards, after those meetings, after the teaching was over, all those business owners would join us in an area, sometimes in the restaurant, and we would the speaker, his name was Dan, and my coach, he would meet with each one of those, anybody that wanted to meet, he would meet every 30 minutes to an hour with them and talk about their goals, and see if he could help them in that 30 minutes, which you can do a lot in 30 minutes. All you got to do is hear a little bit. And because of the education and the principles, we can do so much in goal setting. And but here was the thing, about 90% of the people that came to those meetings, they were just like you, wanting to know, how do they get their business to the next level? How do they grow and earn more? How do they create more revenue? But many of them, many of them had such a great journey. In fact, in LA, probably half of the crowd were actors or actresses, people who had acted in big movies. I mean, I knew the movies, and yet, and they got paid a lot. In fact, there's one actor I think that he was in 28 movies and literally had no money. Why? And this is one of the things that I want you to understand. If you learn how to be a business or an entrepreneur, business person, an entrepreneur, if you learn the principles of business, you can be anything you want to be. So what we would teach is we would teach the principles of business and then be an actor. The reason why so many actors and actresses celebrities that you see today that are making really good money and really killing it, it's not because they're in so many movies. I can promise you that because I have coached them. It's because they learned the practical principles of business and entrepreneurship. So if you want to be a great author, if you want to be a great minister and have a great ministry, there is still business principles that have to be put in place. If you want to be an actor or an actress, become a good entrepreneur. If you want to be a great coach, everything I do in the things that you don't see is business principles, is doing the boring things, at 10, 11 o'clock a night that create good businesses. The boring things. And I remember when I heard that, it changed everything for me, because if you'll do some of the boring things that are just practical principles, they may not have anything to do with the passion or what you love. Like, I love to coach. I love to help people succeed. I know the principles of success. I know how to build churches and help pastors build great churches. But if I didn't know the practical principles, I'd not have any of those. I'd not have any of those students. I wouldn't have those churches that I coach. All right. So the journey is not that you may have a great journey. You may have a blessed journey. I had a blessed journey. I was so blessed. And then I became 49 and Bill died. And I had no financial security. And the truth is, we didn't know how to have financial security. We didn't know the practical principles. Now, our church did. Our church was growing, but we weren't pastoring at that time. We turned over our church to a new pastor. We'd set that church up for success, the principles and all of that. Somehow there was a disconnect. So your journey can be great, but you can have zero money in the bank, or you can be living paycheck to paycheck. And that's not really what God wants. So your journey is not, so there's two sides to success. There is the journey. There's the love, the passion, the joy, the purpose. The second part is that you have to understand the principles of growth. I'm going to give you in the next 5 minutes, I'm just going to give you a little taste of a couple of things that you can do in order to increase. It's called the 7 steps to successful selling. I know that for most people, that is just a nasty word, really, for many people. And for me, it was selling. I want you to change your thinking about that, because here's what selling is. It's building relationships. That's all it is. 7 steps to successful relationships. 7 steps to successful selling and learning how to build great relationships. So there's 4 personalities that you need to learn. This will change everything for you if you learn 4 personalities, because this is how you begin to build a great business. I thought, and for some of you, you might think right now, really? That's not really? It's the foundation of everything now. There's 4 personalities that now, if you are into the Enneagram, there's 9, 7 or 9, I can't remember. But if you boil them down to 4, there is the giver, there is the expressive, there is the aggressor, and there's the analyst. And all 4 of those personalities you will have as clients, as members of your church, or donors in your ministry, or pastors that you go to. And when you learn how to effectively connect with those 4 personalities and understand each one of them differently, it's not all about you. That's the thing, is that you have to learn that the secret to success is in business and ministry is that it's not all about you. It's all about these 4 personalities. It's all about these people. It's all about people. And so the aggressor, I'm going to give you just a top level, since we're so close. Aggressor, let me give you a person that's much like that. Aggressor would be Donald Trump. Now, whether you like him or not, doesn't matter. because it could be Donald Trump, Ronald Reagan, whatever. They love people, but they're all about getting a job done. They love people, and that's the misunderstanding about aggressors, is that that's how come people love, lots of people love President Trump, or some people love Ronald Reagan. Some people love whoever they love that is an aggressor, because they get the job done. Now, they may not be so great a people person, and we can see that a lot in aggressors. Some do better than others, but they really do love people. They want the best for people, but if it means that they have to move them out of the way physically, they will do that. So that's the funny thing about aggressors. And they make great CEOs. Analyst is much like your Steve Jobs is a perfect example of analyst, even though he was also aggressor. Analysts, I mean, it's very hard for them to care about people. In fact, they do their best work alone by themselves. And they're very misunderstood because they get a lot of their energy by themselves. But I'm telling you what, you got to have an analyst in your working with you at some point, because they will get the job done. They will learn how to do it. Just leave them alone, give them a list, learn how to do it, and get out of the way. That's a wonderful person in your ministry, or in your business, or in your church. The expressive, it's a me. Here I am. I'm all over the place. I am loving you. I'm loving people. I'm loving life. I want to go live in Italy. Now, what I had to learn, so you don't get off of not learning, I had to learn how to create financial security. It's not easy for me because it's a list. And it's a boring, some things are very boring, but you can learn them. You can learn them. Everybody give me a high five, or a give me an emoji, and let me know you're still there and you're hearing me okay. Oh good. That's what I need. That's what I need, Melissa. Yay. Yes. I love the hearts. Yes. The thumbs up and the hearts. Yes. Great. Okay. And then so that's an expressive. Many preachers are expressives. They love people. We would take everybody with us to Italy if we could, and that's the goal, is to take everybody I want to Italy with me. A giver, everybody needs a giver. Everybody needs a giver. They will just follow you to the ends of the world. Sometimes to their hurt. So you got to watch it. Sometimes they'll do more than they need to do, or that they should do. Let me say, they do more than they should do, because they're just a giver. They just will do anything for you and help you. Everybody needs somebody that has that gift alongside of them to help. And let me tell you something, those givers are great workers. They're so good at working and helping. And I'm just like, I'm so grateful for all four of these personalities, because they serve a different aspect in your business, in your life. But here's what you need to know. That is the number 3 things that I believe is a key to your success, is that you learn those 4 personalities. You learn how they work. You learn how to minister to them. You learn how to serve them in your business. You learn how to work with them, and you learn how to sell to them, because you have a great book, a great service, a great product, a great ministry, a great church. But learning how to sell to them is super important, because they are not sold to. the same way. Okay, so that's number 3. And as we get ready to close, I will talk more about that tomorrow. Hopefully, if I don't get all busy with day 3 and what we need to do. But here's what I want to invite you. I have a new product, actually a new coaching program that we're releasing. I just started releasing it yesterday. It's called the Don't Do Business Alone Impact Program. I almost forgot it. Don't Do Business Alone Impact Program. You can go and Melissa, would you mind helping? Well, let me see. No, I think I can. I think I can put it in there. I'm going to give you a link. I'm going to give you a link if you decide that you would like to join, or if you even just want more information. That's okay too. You do not have to join. Here's the thing. You don't have to. It's here as a blessing to you. And if we can help you, so there's a link to it. Let me tell you a little bit about it to see if it's something that is a blessing for you and that would be a help for you, because I'm all about helping you succeed. So what that is a new monthly program that we're just releasing. It's $97 a month. Basically, I think I'm going to actually make it almost a donation. We'll end up doing it more of a donation because of the value of it. It far exceeds, I don't make any money at $97 a month, but here's what I do know is that when you put in, you'll receive more. And I call it, we don't want to create a criminal exchange. Criminal exchange is when people give something and there's nothing in return. And so we don't want to create that. And that's a business principle. But it's $97 a month. You can cancel anytime, but here's what you get. You get 2 group coachings a week. So Thursdays at, I believe it's going to be at 5:00, Thursdays at 5:00, and we will have the recordings. They will be private recordings, and I will upload them to you. So in case you miss a class. And then there'll be Saturday, and it's called at 9:00, it's called Saturday Money Church. Saturday Money Church. We talk about what God's word says about making money, not just money, but making money and how to make money. It's called Money Church. And then there's also once a month, you can book a 30-minute goal setting meeting with me. And that every month you can do one a month. And we'll talk about goal setting and see if I can help you get to the place that you want to get. Now, we have an elite business apprentice program that you're welcome to get into. It is much more. It is half price this month, probably this whole until the 15th. It's half price. But it is I really work with you on your business, and I help you grow your business. I help you do everything. Melissa is in my program, and I'm telling you, we get in there, we dig deep, don't we, Melissa? Man, I get in with you and I help you build by within 3 months. Every one of the businesses that I've worked with, within 3 months, you're tripling in your profits. If you're not making any money now, you will make money by 3 months. And then, and by the end of the year, you'll be on your way. If you do everything I tell you to do, you'll be at 6 figures by the end of the year. Now, not everybody can do that because they can't give their all, but if you'll do everything I tell you to do, you will be at 6 figures at the end of the year. And I've had some go to 1 million by the end of the year. So the principles work. So if you have any questions, you can go to margocoaches.com and you can go to the DDBA navigation, and there's a lot more in there about the coaching, about my coaching, anything that you want to know. I'm all about you knowing everything and making a really good decision about whether we can be a blessing to you. Or here's the thing, maybe you know of somebody that we would be a blessing to. That's great too. That's I would love it. I would love for you to recommend us. I love to teach authors how to grow their book business, how to sell books, how to market their books. It takes thousands and thousands of dollars to hire somebody, thousands. I have done it for people. Nothing less than 25,000 to market a book successfully. But here's what I can do. I can teach you how to market your book successfully and for it to succeed. And I know that authors don't have $25,000 to drop to me, nor do I have the time to do that for them, but I do have the time to coach you to go there. So if you're an author or you want to be a speaker or you're in the ministry or you have a business you want to grow, I'm telling you, we can help you get there. And one of the first steps on a small level is that you can get into that $97 program. And it helps me to be able to give you some of this in a larger scale, on a larger scale. And I really am passionate about helping you grow. And so, again, if you want go to the bigger program, we'll talk about that tomorrow, a little bit more and what that entails. You can certainly reach out to me, or I'm on margocoaches.com, or you can email me. Hey, my email's everywhere, Dr. Margo at margocoaches.com. And if you have any friends or family that you know are struggling, that are frustrated, they don't need to struggle. You don't need to struggle or be frustrated about how to grow your organization. God has the principles. They're all there, and I lay them out line upon line, actually line upon line, line upon line. And I go over them and over them. Melissa knows I go over them and over them again until you get it. And because that's what I needed. You're not going to get it the first time. You're not even going to get all this the first time, but you will get it. And I help you get there. I want to close with this. A small business is not trying to become a big business. A small ministry is not trying to become a big ministry. A small church is not trying to become a big church. The principles for a business are all the same. A ministry, the growth of a ministry, a growth of a church are all the same. They're not different. It's not like you've got a small business and you're doing this, and then when you get to be a big business or a big ministry, you're going to do this. Nope. You're going to start this. And that's the only way I know to put it, is a small business is not trying to become a big business. It is a business. A small business is a business. A big business is a business. Same thing with ministry and church. The principles are all the same. So we're going to level those up. Tomorrow, I'm going to get deeper into that. I'm going to give you some real key secrets and key points. To me, they're not secrets that I'm keeping. I want to give them to you, and they're not secrets. They're in the Word of God. It's just that they're key principles that we've never been taught before. I know personally, I was never taught them. So thank you so much for being on here. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Reach out to me any way you want to. You've got my number. You're welcome, Bridget. Thank you so much. I hope this has helped you. If it has, put something in the chat. It really helps me if you just let me know that it's thank you, Bridget. Thank you. It means so much to me. And thank you, Melissa. Thank you. And so I hope that it helped. I hope that it gave you some. Thank you. Thank you, Alicia. I know we say I say your name wrong because I know it's either Alicia, Alyssa, maybe you can unmute and tell me. I know it's not, I don't say it right. Yes,
Just Alicia.
Alicia. Okay. Alicia.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alicia. I'm so sorry. And so okay, thank you guys. Have a great day. Go out and be amazing. Bye-bye.
Bye.